another speed build on the channel. So today we're building a 1-bedroom, 1-bath rancher. It does come in at about $60K. It is on a 30 by 20 lot. I called it the Joshua Tree Rancher. You can find that on the gallery underneath that item name. You can also search BRaeSunny, that is my EAID, and this is currently up on the gallery right now. And it has a lot traits of great soil and Homey. So I actually based this off of a tiny house video that I saw on YouTube here, and I will link that in this video so you can check it out if you want to. So I was thinking about maybe creating a build series called YouTube to the Sims, because I do watch a lot of tiny house videos, and I get inspired by them, and I definitely want to give like the creator credit. But I based the exterior, like the shape of the house, on the YouTube video, and then I kind of just took free liberty with the actual floor plan and layout. And I used a lot of items from cats and dogs for this, well, mainly for the exterior. The interior was just like free reign. I didn't pack restrict myself. I probably should start pack restricting my builds more, but I don't know. I've been really inspired lately to build, so that's my goal is to have like at least one speed build up on my channel every week that I post videos, because sometimes I'm traveling and I'm unable to actually post content for a few weeks. For example, I just posted the first Not So Berry Challenge episode in about almost 4 weeks at this point, and there was a little nugget surprise in that video, so if you didn't check it out, you should definitely go check it out and know that there will be more nugget surprises like the one in that video in videos in the future. So anyway, back to the build. I really wanted this to be kind of like rustic in a way, so we use a lot of like browns, both light and dark browns, for the exterior. And then I think, in my opinion, I kept the interior, at least the paint, the wall colors, like pretty neutral. So use a lot of browns and blues in this build. With a little bit of yellow. I've been noticing that I've been using yellow and orange as like an accent quite a lot lately. And then I built this little corner piece because I wanted to put a fireplace outside, and that is definitely from the video that I watched. They had like a fireplace. It wasn't exactly like that, but we're kind of limited in what we can do in The Sims. So I made this outdoor fireplace that I really like a lot, and I actually am kind of excited to play with this build. I did play test it with my sim self, and it appears that everything is working. I was a little concerned because the bedroom is small, so I wasn't sure if that would cause any issues. But here I am doing the terrain paint, and I actually left the landscaping in this one because I tried really hard to like landscape more than I normally do, and I had seen a video, I can't remember whose it was, but it was a video about creating waterfalls. If I can remember who like posted it, I will share it in the description. I'm so sorry. I really try to give people credit where it's due, but I really can't remember the person right now. So I used the little benches from, I want to say that's from Get Together, to start the foundation of this waterfall, and it took me forever. I am always amazed at the patience of builders because I am not very patient, but I really wanted to like try making my own waterfall. I don't know if I was inspired by the island living pack that was just announced. Oh my gosh, how excited are you guys for this new pack? Like, I cannot wait. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to start my LP. I'm not really sure if I'm going to like have one character or multiple characters or how I'm really gonna do it. Honestly, I've been like kind of struggling trying to figure that out. But I cannot wait. Sulani looks so beautiful. I wasn't going to watch like any of the EA Game Changer footage, but I totally did because I'm a sucker for urban sims. I can't resist her content, and I definitely checked out her videos. I checked out a few of Miss Griffey's videos because I love her speed builds. Like her tiny house builds have been like my inspiration lately. That's honestly what has been motivating me to build. So like I plan to do a couple tiny houses inspired by her, and I plan to share the specific video that inspired it so that you can check it out and see like what elements of her builds kind of inspired mine. I by no means want to copy someone, but I love some of the stuff that she's been doing, and I've actually been learning a lot about building from her. So I kind of want to do that. Like maybe I'll do another like little build series of like Sims creators that inspire me and share like their content, and that way you can see like how it inspired my builds. But yeah, I was super satisfied with this waterfall and how it turned out. I mean, it's not perfect. I've definitely seen better ones, but I was like super proud of myself, and I honestly didn't think it was going to turn out as well as it did, and I actually put a lot more like plants around it than I normally do, because I feel like when you clutter plants, like when I do it, it looks bad. When other people do it, I feel like it looks fantastic. But I feel like I used a lot of base game plants, and then I used, I think, some from Outdoor Retreat, and then cats and dogs. I originally was going to cover up the entire thing around it to make it like a pond, but then I thought, well, why not just like keep a pool since we spent all that money on it? It does make the house a little bit more expensive, so I left that open so your Sims can actually swim in there. A pool with a waterfall. And I've been trying to use more debug items, so I saw that tire and I thought that it would be the perfect thing to put a plant in, and I ended up grabbing this yellow one, which I feel like inspired the inside a little bit, because I've been using a lot more yellow than I used to use. I've been noticing that it's been consistently an accent in my builds, whether it's one that I have a speed build for or that I just uploaded to the gallery or used in my personal save. So I just think that's interesting. I don't build all the time, but I have been building more, and I just noticed that that's something that I've been using a lot of. So we're about to do the interior here, and I was just trying to figure out how I wanted the kitchen to fit in, because I knew that I wanted to put in laundry, but I wasn't sure exactly how I wanted to do that. And of course I used the Jungle Adventure counters because I'm obsessed with them. I think pretty much everyone that I watch their speed builds is like obsessed with the Jungle Adventure countertops because they're so nice. They're so like, I feel like they're pretty versatile. You can use them in a bunch of different types of builds, but I decided to put in that half wall to kind of separate the space between the living room and the kitchen, and I knew that I wanted to have at least a 4-person table. So I played around with the concept of a farm table. I think I initially used the one from Base Game, and then I ended up using something from Cats and Dogs instead. This build definitely uses quite a few packs. I think I consistently use items from Cats and Dogs more than anything in this build, but there's definitely a smattering of other stuff, probably when it comes to the clutter too, which I did try really hard to clutter the build because I normally don't do that. I normally shy away from clutter because I just feel like I won't do a very good job of cluttering items, but I did put a lot more in this build, especially considering the size, than I do in most builds. And I think that's mainly because a lot of the time when I'm building for my own personal gameplay, and like my Sims don't have a lot of money so I don't want to clutter the house because then they won't be able to afford their lifestyle. But I used quite a few items that I've seen a lot of other builders use like in their kitchens that just kind of make it look more lived in and just makes sense to include in your build. I believe that dish thing is from like Parenthood. So like I said, there's a lot of random packs used in this build, but I feel like if you downloaded it, for the most part, if you have like Jungle Adventure, Cats and Dogs, obviously Base Game, and maybe get together, you should be good. And then outdoor retreat for the items, and I believe I used like some skill items from Seasons. But other than that, I feel like the other packs that are listed are pretty much just clutter items, so I feel like you should be okay if you don't have all the packs to download this one, but I don't know for sure. And I also want to point out, be sure that you use move objects on before you place this build, because you might be disappointed that it doesn't look the way that it does in the screen captures, because I did use move objects on. So yeah, just a little tidbit there. So here we are going into the living room, and this is when I started to go blue crazy. Like at first I wanted it to be an accent, and then I felt like as I was doing it, I was just putting in so much blue, so I kind of had to like rein it back in. And I knew that I wanted like a smaller TV, because I feel like the person that would live here would be like doing okay in life, but they wouldn't have like all the grand things like a big humongous TV. I mean, the majority of the appeal of this house is outside anyway, so I feel like they would be more of like an outdoorsy sim. Like whether they have that trait or not, they'd be spending most of their time outside. So I ended up just putting in really basic stuff in the living room. I don't even think that I added a computer to this build, which I realized as I was editing the footage, and I'm like, oh, I could have easily put a desk right there on that other wall instead of putting in a chair. But I did put in the tall back chair from Cats and Dogs, which you'll see in a few minutes, right now. And then I started looking for a carpet, and that's where I was like, oh, let's tie in the yellow from that painting, which I feel like I used that painting from Seasons all the time, whether it's that color or not, I feel like a lot of those paintings have blue and yellow, like a blue and yellow theme, which might be part of the reason why I've been using so much yellow in my builds. Yeah, it's interesting when you actually stop to think about all of like why you do certain things in your builds. But yeah, as you can see, like I used some clutter from Laundry Day. Like I said, like a lot of the clutter is from a bunch of different packs, but I think you should be fine if you don't have all of them and download this build. I am curious, like of the people watching this video, do you have all the packs or most of the packs? Like, would you like to see pack restricted builds on the channel? I'm just curious. Also, I'm curious if you feel that this video is too long for the size of the house. And the reason it's so long, again, is because I left all of the landscaping footage in, and I left like all of the clutter footage, which I don't normally do. I don't know if that's enjoyable to you guys, so I would love to know if you feel like this video is too long, like just right, or what your thoughts are, because I haven't done that many speed builds, but like I said, I would prefer to try to upload at least one a week for the weeks that I post videos. So I want to know what people like. I mean, I'm gonna do what I like, but I also want to make sure that's something that people enjoy and want to see. So yeah, I really appreciate your feedback. But here we are coming into the bedroom, and I wasn't sure what bed I wanted to use, so I ended up putting down quite a few, and then I ended up using something from Cats and Dogs. I really didn't even try to use all Cats and Dogs stuff. It's just kind of how it worked out for this build. But placing the dresser was very tricky, and I feel like I probably didn't utilize this space that well. Having two doors kind of messed things up a little bit, but I do end up putting in one end table. We have that little, or actually relatively large dresser there, the armoire. I think that's what that would be called. And then here I am putting in more clutter. And I'm not even using that red shelf thing, which I'm not very good at using, but I see a lot of builders use it. And then I wanted to put in like a cute little lamp, because I kind of feel like this person might also be like eco-conscious, so like having candles, which I've also heard is not actually very eco-conscious, but whatever. And I put in curtains, which I do not normally do. I've been doing it more when I record my builds, but I still don't do it for my personal gameplay, because I just find them so annoying, and in my opinion there's not enough choices for the windows and all the different styles of like building, so I don't really use them that often. But we're also using cats and dog tub and sink. I am amazed at how much cats and dog stuff I used for this, because it was not intentional. But I even put in the little toilet paper roll, which I like never do. And the way I place it in the build is the way that I place it at like in real life at my house. Yeah, I'm one of those people with the toilet paper under, not over. I know that's like a really big controversy on the internet of like what's actually correct, and I feel like whatever you enjoy is correct, but that's just me. I don't know why I'm talking about toilet paper, but I ended up using the ceiling fan, which I thought really suited this build, and I used it throughout. And then I used the light from Cats and Dogs, because that's one of the few that fits underneath of it easily, to make it an actual like lit oh my gosh, lit ceiling fan. And here we are just putting in some backyard stuff. I figured that this person would really enjoy having like campfires and things, probably be a gardener. I did put a clothesline in, but I don't think that I put the wash tub outside, which I feel like they would probably do both. Like they would use the electric washer dryer for the winter time, and then like use the eco-friendly option for like summer. But here we are just finishing up the landscaping in the front, and then we will be moving to this side porch here, which I really wanted to have seating as well as a place to eat, because I just imagine that this person would want to enjoy the outdoors as much as possible, but I wanted to make sure that there was indoor seating for eating, like a dining table. That's so awkward, because you know, when it's cold, they need somewhere to be able to eat. That's like the one thing I don't like about a lot of tiny builds, is like people will put like the dining or the living room like exclusively outside, which is not very realistic, especially if you have seasons, because like you're gonna be freezing cold. But that's just my personal opinion. I don't think it like ruins a build, and I have no problem downloading something from the gallery and just switching it up a little bit to suit my needs. But it's something that I don't really like about tiny house builds. So I really hope that you guys like this build. If you did, please be sure to give it a big fat thumbs up, comment, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!